All right, Mr. Wiggins, can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. The clerks are bringing me the paperwork and we will go over that.
Okay. How you doing, by the way, Judge?
You know what? I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day outside. The temperature is starting off in the 70s, which means, as my mom would say, it's almost time for the fall season, time for us to reflect, time for football.
Yeah, I heard you talking about LSU.
You know, sometimes coaching is a problem.
Yeah.
We'll see what the Saints do this year.
Oh, you like the Saints too?
Well, hope is eternal. We'll see how things go. We'll see how the Cowboys do. There have already been some injuries, it's my understanding. All right, everyone, we're going to go on the record. And Mr. Wiggins, because you're around other people, I'm going to need you to put the mask on.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
And, you know, the masks are to protect others, not really to protect ourselves. We all have to do our part. All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 12412, State of Texas versus Rodney Wiggins. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Tom Nisbet.
For the defense?
Suzanne Kramer.
And are you Mr. Wiggins?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Judge.
Mr. Wiggins, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you
Yes, ma'am.
understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Off the record, Mr. Leal and Mr. Broback, if you'll go to breakout room number 1, the clerks will go over paperwork with you and let you know if there's anything outstanding. We're back on the record. Defense, I'm going to show you what's entitled Acknowledgement of Discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case, or did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with the discovery. Mr. Wiggins, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes.
Mr. Wiggins, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with is felon in possession of a firearm? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
What you mean, like, do I
Oh, did
agree
you
with
intend to give up those rights? The rights that I've just discussed with you, did you intend to give them up?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Wiggins, has anyone threatened you, forced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. I'm showing you what's entitled plea bargain agreement page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $0 fine. There are no applications. The state will take in consideration 2019 CR 12413, grand jury number 735724, and 735-725. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is that the plea bargain agreement.
It is, Judge.
State is that the plea bargain agreement.
Yes.
Then Mr. Wiggins, to the offense is charging an indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contents.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
The state offers Exhibit 1 and attachments.
No
Any
objection.
objections?
No objection, Judge.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
He only asked me to request one thing of the court, and I told him that I'm not sure that you could do this, but he says that he is Native American, and so I honestly don't know if he'll get sent to TDC. They may parole him out of the Bexar County Jail. But if he gets sent to TDC, they're going to want to cut his hair, which is apparently part of his being a Native American. And he was asking me to ask you if there's some sort of order I could type up that you could attach. I'm not sure how that works, so that if he does make a turnaround, that doesn't happen.
What I've discovered at TDC, because I've had this with a former client, depending on the length, I don't think they cut everyone's hair super short. So you're saying they do, Mr. Wiggins?
Bald. Everybody telling me straight bald.
Oh, well, what he would have to do if he contacts, and this is just me thinking, off the top of my head, he'll probably need to contact a chaplain and let them know that
I did all that. They told me I needed documentation from the court. That's the only reason why I'm asking.
Well, see, and I had told him that basically once you've sentenced him, your jurisdiction over him ceases, and it's pretty much parole and TDC. But
Ms.
possibly
Kramer,
there could be something.
Ms. Kramer, if you want to prepare a document stating that your client is claiming Native American status, and have me sign that saying that he claimed Native American status, then I will be more than happy to sign the order saying that he has claimed Native. Mr. Wiggins?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you claiming Native American status?
Yes, ma'am.
Do I need to ask you which tribe you belong to?
Blackfoot and Cherokee.
Okay, Blackfoot and Cherokee. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, but that's it from my side, Judge.
All right. Then the court will follow your agreement. The court will sentence you to 3 years in prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $0 fine. State will take in consideration 2019 CR 12413, grand jury number 735-724 and 735-725. And because this is a felony conviction, which you should know because you're charged with felony in possession of a weapon, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Wiggins, how old are you?
29.
All right, here's the thing. If you continue on your path, because you've been to prison before, if you continue on your path, you know what you're going to find? You're going to wake up and you're going to find a majority of your life is behind you, and a majority of that was spent in the prison system.
Yeah, I'm trying to change that today. This time around, that's why when I get out, I'm trying to get, if I can't possibly get up with the courts or whatever, to try to speak to the youth, start a youth program.
Well, here's the thing. I admire you for wanting to do that, but before we can speak to the youth, we need to change.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, Mr. Wiggins, you're going to have to change.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when new people come into prison, they're going to say, how does this place run? And they're going to say, oh, ask the person who we call the grandfather of the prison. I'm going to be like, who's the grandpa of the prison? They're going to say, Mr. Wiggins, because you're going to be the oldest person in the prison. And I'm telling you, time passes quickly. I mean,
No.
this COVID has been going on for what, Brenna, 2 years or so? And it seems like it was just 2 years have passed. So many people have lost their lives. Don't be a person who wakes up and all your life is behind you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you're going to claim Native American heritage, if you're going to claim African American heritage, then you need to stand up for your ancestors and do better. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Wiggins. Have a great rest of your day.
You
Thank
too.
you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Number
Thank you,
L,
Tom.
go back.
Okay, thank you.
Let's get the facts straight. She loves a verbal ashtray. Never blowing smoke when she gets pissed. She's quick to castrate. Love her on a good day, love her on a bad